WNBA has completely lost control. Again, and this time, it might cost them everything. What unfolded on the court between the Indiana Fever and the Connecticut Sun didn't just spark outrage, it exposed a crisis that the league can no longer ignore, a pattern of violent fouls, no accountability, and the growing suspicion that Caitlin Clark is being targeted while the league looks the other way. In one wild night, we saw eye gouges, blatant shoves, a player eruption, and a coach who refused to stand up for her star. And by the time the dust settled, fans were already lighting up social media with one brutal truth. This isn't basketball anymore. It's chaos. It all started with what looked like just another fast break. Caitlin Clark had the ball in her hands, navigating the floor with that same calm intensity we've seen all season. Then, bam! Jacy Sheldon reaches in and delivers what looked eerily similar to that infamous Dijonai Carrington eye gouge. No call, no foul. Clark, still moving, tries to shake it off, but before she can even catch her breath, Marina Mabrey comes flying in with a body check, straight out of a hockey playbook. The shove wasn't subtle, it wasn't hidden, it was direct, deliberate, and dirty. Right there in plain view of every referee in the building, and somehow, no ejection. The crowd saw it, the commentators called it, the replay was undeniable, but the referees just swallowed their whistles, and the game continued. It was déjà vu for Clark, who has taken more hits in one season than some players do in 5. But this time, someone had finally had enough. That someone was Sophie Cunningham, a veteran with toughness baked into her DNA. Cunningham saw the cheap shot on her teammate and made a decision that would ignite the entire arena. On the very next play, she didn't hold back. Sophie grabbed Sheldon, got physical, and sent a clear message to the league and to the Sun. This won't slide anymore. It wasn't just retaliation. It was years of frustration boiling over. Players have watched Clark get slammed to the ground, jabbed in the ribs, and hacked at the rim with no whistle. And while the league tweets pretty graphics about equality and empowerment, their silence on the fouls spoke louder than any highlight reel. Sophie Cunningham knew exactly what she was doing, and even though she got tossed from the game, fans cheered like she just hit the game-winning shot, because that moment, that was bigger than basketball. But the refs once again proved they're in over their heads. They tossed Sophie Cunningham for reacting, but let Marina Mabrey stay in the game after her body check on Clark. Let that sink in. The instigator got to stay. The one who stood up for her teammate got the boot. It's a decision that has fans and analysts fuming. On social media, the response was immediate and unforgiving. Fix the refs, one tweet read. Joke of a league, said another. The inconsistency in officiating isn't just bad, it's dangerous. Because when players know they can hit and shove without consequences, things escalate. And in the WNBA, they've escalated quickly. A league that once promoted grace and finesse is now known more for its fouls than its fundamentals. And where was Fever head coach Stephanie White during all of this? Silent, stoic, on the sidelines with arms crossed while her star player got thrown around like a rag doll. One commentator said it best. This was the moment for White to go full Bobby Knight. Throw the clipboard, demand respect, take a technical if you have to. But don't just stand there. Her players were getting assaulted in real time, and the message she sent by staying quiet was clear. You're on your own. Fans noticed, the team noticed, and social media noticed. Where's the fire? One user posted, show them you have your team's back, because if coaches won't defend their players, who will? But Caitlin Clark doesn't need anyone to speak for her. She let her game do the talking. After that ugly sequence, she responded the only way she knows how, with a deep 3 right in Jacy Sheldon's face. And as the ball swished through the net, she turned to the Connecticut Sun bench and let them hear it. No words were needed. That look said it all. You can hit me, you can foul me, but you can't stop me. In that moment, Clark didn't just reclaim the momentum, she reminded everyone watching why she's the biggest name in the league. That 3 wasn't just a bucket, it was a warning, and the numbers back it up. Despite everything, Clark still put up 20 points and 6 assists. Natasha Howard came through with a massive double-double, 16 points and 12 rebounds. Aaliyah Boston nearly posted her own with 9 points, 9 boards, and 5 assists. And Kelsey Mitchell, who's been fighting to find her rhythm all season, finally came alive with 17 points and solid shot selection. The Fever didn't just win, they dominated, finishing with a 17-point margin that felt much bigger in real time. They didn't need dirty fouls or cheap shots, they let their play speak. And the Sun? They looked lost, uncoordinated, and completely outmatched. The scoreboard didn't just reflect a win, it told a story of a team that refused to be bullied. Meanwhile, fans were making sure the league heard their voices. Tweets exploded within minutes. Mabrey is a classless B, one fan posted. Let this happen to Angel Reese, and there would have been an investigation in 30 minutes, and that's the part that stings. When certain players are fouled, it becomes a media spectacle. But when it's Caitlin Clark, the silence is deafening. No statements, no discipline, no accountability, just more hits, more excuses, and more fans wondering what the WNBA is really doing behind the scenes. Are they trying to protect the sport, or just protect the status quo? This brings us to a bigger, darker question. What is the WNBA becoming? Because if you watch that Fever versus Sun game without knowing the context, you might think you were watching WWE Monday Night Raw. Players throwing elbows, refs ignoring blatant fouls, coaches staying silent, and fans eating it up, not because it's good basketball, but because it's drama, pure chaos. And while chaos might drive a few clips on social media, it's not a long-term brand. Fans didn't tune in for reality TV. They tuned in to watch elite competition, skilled execution, and rising stars who could redefine the game. Instead, they got a fight night with a basketball as an afterthought. And here's the most terrifying part for the league. The data doesn't lie. When Caitlin Clark sat out recently, BA ratings dropped by 55%. That's not a dip, that's a collapse. Without her, the national buzz dies. The highlight reels stop trending. The headlines disappear, and fans turn the channel. So the question becomes, what happens if Caitlin Clark gets injured again? What happens if she gets shoved the wrong way or gouged too hard? Can this league afford another night without her? Based on the numbers, absolutely not. And yet, the WNBA continues to gamble with the health and safety of its most valuable player. This is no longer just about sports, it's about survival. Because if Caitlin Clark walks away, if she goes overseas or starts her own league, as some have suggested, the WNBA won't just lose its brightest star. It will lose its foundation. The only thing keeping the ratings alive, the only thing drawing casual fans, the only reason millions are watching games they ignored for decades. And the league needs to wake up to that reality fast, because right now, they're playing a dangerous game. And if they're not careful, they might not get a second chance. So the next time someone fouls Clark without consequence, the next time a coach stays silent, or the next time a fan sees their favorite player get hit and no one reacts, the clock will keep ticking. And sooner or later, the WNBA will run out of time.